My name's Norman George Dick. I was born in Goomalling. My parents are Patrick and Josephine Dick, and I've lived in Goomalling all my life. And my grandfather was Pop Wally and Nana Wally. They all come from Eunorcia, and they all followed my mum and dad here to Goomalling, and we settled in on this reserve. It was very happy times on this reserve. We had no trouble at all. We were all happy people. But when time had changed, we all shifted into town, and we all went our separate houses. And sometimes I wish I was back on the reserve, to tell you the truth. My mum and dad, they've passed away now, and there was 10 in our family, and there's only 2 left of us now. And most of the Wallies and the Pontons, Phillipses, they're all left the town, they're all gone. So it only left me and one cousin and a few other people, strangers are. Well, I reckon we enjoyed it on the reserve. We all got around and played hockey and baseball and all that. And in town you got all these motor cars driving around, roaring around your place. And not too peaceful as far as I'm concerned. We got plenty of food on the reserve, and we didn't have far to go bush for yonga and rabbits, and the hot old carter, porcupine too, and we got plenty of food, all right. Until my dad went out on the farm, he went out there. He took us out on the farm after a while, and we stayed on the farm. He worked there for quite a long time, and until the old boss died, we headed back into the reserve then. And we lived on, we had a little bit of mutton out on the farm. Old boss used to get some mutton. Then we come back into the reserve, and we lived not too far from here, where I'm sitting now. And we stayed for a long while till these housing started to come in for Aboriginal people. Then we shifted up right up near the hospital in town. Just played along the creek down here. Just over near the creek, we played along the creek there, and sometimes we'd go across around to the golf dam and played around there. Up the top, up right behind where Sandra's sitting now, there's a hill up there called Pimple Hill. We used to go up and play there. And that was our main little playing spot for kids. Because in my time, a lot of Aboriginals had to be in after 6 o'clock. They were not allowed along the streets. So we never went to no pitches or anything like that. And that's about all I could think of that part. So out of town there's a few Namrols. There's a double Namrol at Oak Park, and there's a one up here on the Pear Tree. There's a Namrol up there. We used to often go up there and play around, and some old people used to Aboriginals, when they have their walk around, they'd pull up at these places, stop there for the night, and they go through the next morning. And I haven't any clue about any burial places around here, but oh yes, I know where there is one out on the hill out here, Moonagog, they call it. There's well, the white people used to say Aboriginal warrior. But he's buried up there in the hill. I often went out that way, and me and my cousins and all, we looked around the hill. We couldn't find his grave, but it's out there. Because I experienced it one late afternoon coming home from a ruant. We were walking along just after sundown, coming along the road, Oak Park Road. We see this figure coming behind us, and apparently the old people used to say it was a spirit of that dead Noongar up in the hill, the old warrior, that followed us out that road. But as much as we ran, we couldn't get far away from him. He kept in the same distance. And that's about all I know, it's the burial guy around. But apparently there's some more still around, they reckon. Just where they are, I don't know, because the old people never tell you too much in them days. Oh, the water's still the same. It's out at Oak Park once. You get a good drink out of it, but there's been some people go out that way. It's a sort of a picnic place. People go up there and broady around in their cars and break bottles, and we told the Shire to go and clean it up. I don't know, I haven't been out there. I don't know whether they clean it up or what. All these broken glass, beer glass bottles on the flat rock. Well, country was good when Aboriginal was around the place, but since the white man came along and knocked all the trees down, and it caused all salt. It's ruined the growth of the land. All the oxygen had gone out of the trees and everything, and that's the worst part about it. They ruined the underground. It started salt. And with all the trees, what's that like? It's a lot better, a lot of trees around, I reckon, than walking around the bare paddock. I don't think you can fix it now. It's gone too far. I mean, we used to look after the Aboriginal. We used to look after every bush, scrub, and a tree. But since they come and cleared everything and knocked them around, a lot of the wildlife is all gone from here. There's only a few possums around here. Well, I don't know. We can't get back our culture much at all. Nothing, eh? That's what's it's hard to get back. It's all been ruined. You can never get back, I don't think, of this our way of living and looking after things. Well, they looked after everything, even down to the trees, bushes, you used to get all the everlastings growing around here, You remember the old pink everlastings that grow around? This was all around here was just pink with them. But says a white bloke come and he put a fire through it, he killed a lot. You never see everlasting bush around here now. Or spider orchids and all them. We used to look after them, and even the blooming poor old birds in the tree. All their nests has been knocked out in the forest here. Well, they've killed all the trees down, where the birds can nest in, and even the poor bobtail, he can't climb anywhere. He got a crawl in the ground, he got burnt, and the racehorse goanna, and some of the possums even trees, hollow logs, and these trees get burnt quick. These are Yorkies. You only got to get a dry bit of bottom of the finger cat, it'll go up right up through the tree. And that's how a lot of it is all gone. There's a few little possums here now because you see them on the roads out here, run over. My grandfather, Pop Wally, used to have a couple of pets, and he used to get apples to feed them with the poor little things, and someone let them out of the cage, and that's why they bred all around in this forest. There's still a lot around here now. My old Pop Wally got these from out in Enortia way, the young possums, along the river to Enortia, and he brought them back here. They bred here anyway, because you often see their droppings up in the forest up here, the trees there. They'd get rid of burn the old trees, and all that. And when any scrub burned down, you'll always get that new lot of saplings come up. And that's what they used to do. Well, feed for the wild stuff like kangaroos and possums sometimes eat a little bit of sweet grass, get down from the trees. And, like even galahs and that. White cockatoos, old Goomalling they call. The big black cockatoo with the red colours under his wings. There's two different sorts. There's a black cockatoo with the white feathers under his wing, and there's another one with all the red colouring under it. They're pretty birds. Out Darren ways, there's at the sand plains, there's trees. They call them pear trees, and that's where they hang around, where them on sand plains, where the pear trees are. The big round thing, you look like a pear, they do, about that size. And they, with their big teeth, they split them and get the seed out of it. And that's where they hang around Darren. It's got a bit of sand plain country out the back way, Eucardi way. My grandfather and Dad used to think how these black cockatoos open those pears because it's hard as rock. They used to try it with a hammer and they couldn't split it. That's the truth. Those pears on that tree, they're green. But I tried it myself to try and split them in half, but how them white cockatoos, the black cockatoos split them. They get the seed out of them. How they done, I don't know. That's a mystery to a lot of Noongars around here. My grandmother used to make cotton jam, and I tell you, it was lovely. Cotton, and there's the old canna, they call it, up here, Pimple Hill up here at the back. You dig it, you see the little plant come up about 5 or 6 inches long, grow a little. You dig down, you get them out, it's like a potato. But they're more water in them, but you could eat them. We used to go up there and feed them. Cannas, they call them. Yeah, a lot of them used to go up here. Out of it. What's that place? I just mentioned, God, I can't think of it there. Moonagoggan. That's the Aboriginal name out there, out the hills out there, where that guy is buried, old warrior is buried. There's a lot of them out there. You walk through the hills, you could see where the old boys used to pull the rocks all up, lift them all up, and dig them out. There's all like runners all through there. They dig them things up and eat them. Well, they reckon it was such a nice place. That's why they're so happy. That's why a lot of Noongars now I think, sort of give it away. The place has been ruined and can't replace it now. Yeah, it means a lot to me, the country. Country means a lot to me, this country. Because I got the kids around here used to love it, And Even the old parents, they used to love it and all, you know. Things, they had good times, you know. Oh, gee, I felt so lovely, you know, when around in this country. Everything inside you had no worries. You just wander around, do your own thing. No one to worry you. Yeah, that was the best part about it. So the Shire just went there to help themselves. They just knocked all the Yorkie trees down and all the little ones, the grandfather's peppercorn tree, and Nan and Pop's old house, tin house it was, and they built a road right across there make it for the Shire. Because this Shire here, they ask nobody, they just go and help themselves. Well, they should consult us because that's where they're walking on our places, you know. They should never go near places that don't belong to them. Oh, they could tell them a lot, not to care about the country, but they'll talk to the post. You go from one end and out the other, you tell them anything about the country. They think you know nothing. You ought to leave the place alone, leave the land alone. And don't go knocking people's places out, you know, like my grandmother and grandfather, you know. No younger, if they had a right to do things like that, wouldn't do it. They got a bit of respect. But some of these people haven't got any respect. There's a woggle along that river, down there towards Spencer's Brook, and that's what they want to protect, that river. They haven't. Well, I don't know. He looks after, they reckon they cleans the water or something. I don't know. That's what they reckon. He cleans the water and protects the place. It's always there. Well, that's what they've been doing down there. They've been taking a lot of sand out of that river down in Northam, Avon. And I don't know what the snake is going to do. I don't know if he's still there or what. That's all I know. Mostly would be not very big fish. Mostly be about, like the gilgy they live on. You know, the old gilgy? There used to be plenty along there. They live on that. I don't think there's any more gilgies in there. Some of the people I know down there, they reckon there's not many at all. Not any, I don't think. Oh, that'll kill a lot. Yeah. Chemical stuff it is. That's where you get the trouble in the Swan River now. All that rush through, farmers go and dump their empty drums down there and clean them out, and all that chemicals go in the water, goes along through Turgey right down into the Swan River. That's what causes that. A lot of chemical stuff tipped into the Avon River. Through Turgey and York and Northam and that, there used to be a lot of turtles there. You could walk along the Turgey River now, you'll never find one turtle. This was only a few years back too. A lot of turtles was there. Never see them. Even a lot of them little diamond ducks, they call them little diamond ducks, you might see them along the Avon River, they dive all the time, you never see them. You could walk miles and miles up that Avon River and you'll never find anything that you've seen there before. Oh, well, got all these. Yeah, the turtle, he lives all along the river, Avon River. all that stuff will go over there and he'd go around, eat around and kill him. All the water running there with all that chemical stuff and what he's eaten. He eat all weeds. And in that weeds is all that chemical. Well, the water stopped going mucking around with chemicals right along the river. Leave the river alone itself, let it run its own course. If they want to tip chemicals out, take it right out in their own paddock and wash them out. Clean their drums. And they plough right along there too with they spray all along there. That's the spray. You get a wind, and the wind will blow that spray. The spray is about so high up on these tractors they drive with the sprays on. It blows all the spray into the water itself when they go and do their first cut along the paddock, along the river. I've worked out in a farm here for a few years, and I reckon it was lovely. Doing the plough night shift. Night shift, I used to love doing night shift, they call it. Tell you the truth, it makes it the night go quick when you're doing night shift work. You can't see where you're going, but daytime the paddock don't seem to come in so close when you. But night time you do it quick. But then you'll always see the little night animals running around in the paddocks night time. All the little mouse and all what do they call them little things used to. Oh God. Chudits. Little chudits. Used to see them hopping around in front of the tractor lights. Oh well. I don't know. Just I enjoy the work, and that's about all I could say. Never used to kill any sort of animal, in the night shift and there. Even the plover nesting on the ground there, I used to plough around it. Let them have their young ones there. They rest their eggs there. Yeah, it used to be the plover. But you don't hear the plover now, he's killed out. Summer nights around here, you hear him coming in for the water here, the dam, but you don't hear him no more here now. He's killed out. The plover, the ground plover. I didn't believe in their spraying anyway. I like a good feed of mushrooms. The ground mushroom, winter time. But they go spray over the paddock there, you kill him. Mushroom is only a fungus growing. When I used to say to the boss, I said, you expect a good feed of mushrooms from that paddock there next year? He said, yeah. I said, well, you won't get it. Anyway, next year his wife sent him out to go and get some mushrooms for a bit of mushroom and steak dinner. Not one mushroom grew on it. He sprayed it with chemicals. Of course, it's only fungus stuff just come out of the ground. They're only that deep in the ground, mushroom. Oh dear, I don't know. I'd go and get a, what do you call it? You got a license for the miner's license. They couldn't stop you going anywhere to get the feed when you got a miner's license. You could go anywhere and get that kangaroo whenever you wanted. But Aboriginals allowed 2 kangaroos still, and that's still going. I remember me and my brother went out here to Moonagog, and a lot of red marloos out there. We used to only shoot the older ones. We don't shoot the Joe and the Doe. Joe and the Doe. And we carried these along the road and in the fence, put them in the ute, and this woman comes along. She says, you're not allowed to kill roos? My brother, he was older than me, he said, no, he said, you go out and have a think. She said, well, I've got to go and tell the police. You're not, they're protected. I said, well, go. My brother Jimmy said, go and tell them then. He says, you're going to fall flat on your face. She went in there. This police, he'd been up north with the Noongars all his life. Up there, he said, no, they're allowed to because we only had two. We didn't kill a whole lot of them. Anyway, she said to him, I'm sorry. Afterwards, she apologised to him down the street. But you're allowed two kangaroos. You still do now. Because that's what you lived on all your life. Even right back to the old boys. Or there's never none happened around here. Through here there's only just a pass-through place for them when they walk about. And that's up at the pear tree up there. That's where they used to come through Kalgoorlie down to Meriden and cut straight across down through here. They head straight across to Moore and Jurien Bay. That was their walkabout line. They only stop here for a night and they're gone. They, a couple of years ago, Sandra, there was my brother went up in the hill pear tree, and they said they weren't still coming through here, but he walked along with his little boy, going to set a couple of rabbit traps, and there were 3 red bands sitting on a rock. You know, the red bands. Yeah, they were up there then. And they were sitting on this rock with their backs turned to them. And my brother said, come on, let's get going. He ducked back. But they knew he was coming. They could hear him talking and going. He reckoned they had their back to me. And the eldest brother, he said to the other one, he said, don't you worry about that. They knew you was coming with the noise you was making. They know how far you're going. Yeah, this was only a couple of years ago. So apparently a few must come through this way. They go through Muckenbird and Killarney too, through that way. But round here, Goomalling hasn't been nothing. You know, there's been no things like that, Sandra. They just pass through here. Oh, we'll be proud. Proud to be a Yolngu. And you brought up that way, you want to stay that way. Can't change me any more than that, you know. I'm happy as I am. Oh, just go your own way and be yourself and don't worry about anybody else. And take care of yourself and be proud of yourself. That's all I've been told. Never got any mischief. Don't get into that or look ahead, not backwards. Oh, favourite memory used to be the old circus and the shows that come around. When the kids used to go there. From the reserve we used to head to the Abbey when we hear the Goomalling show coming on, and the circus, that was the only thing we were used to enjoy when we was kids. Oh yeah, we used to play hockey and all that, and baseball. You know, any old rag thing rolled up like a tennis ball. Use that. And that's about all, I think. Hockey and that. And, you get a few other young visitors come from Unorcia them days. They used to come across visitors. That was good. And sometimes we go to Unorcia for a ride. But a lot of times we as kids used to be well at the back because we make too much noise. You know, when you're ruined, you don't make any noise. Because he's a very clever animal, a kangaroo. He had a little stick crack, you won't get near him. You know something's around. But the kids, the elders never, we'd go, but we just about well behind come along. They used to tell us, okay, stay right behind, not near them when they hunt.